Hi, I'm Fletcher Rhoden, and my pet peeve for today is feeding pigeons and cats. Well, Pet Peeves is brought to you by my website, FletcherRhoden.com. That's where you can find links, such as the one to my author's page at Amazon.com. That's where you can buy my books in paperback and for Kindle and in audiobook format, most of them. Then there's also a link to my Spotify artist page. That's where you can buy my albums and download them. I've got lots of albums. In 2024, I had a 4-album set called Quadrilogy. And in 2025, I have a brand new pop album called I'm Possible. Now, you can download those at Spotify or at any of your favorite download sites. Wherever you like to download your favorite music, you can download mine. But at my website, FletcherRhoden.com, there's music you can get for free, and only there. So check it out, won't you? Okay, well, today's pet peeve. It's funny about pet peeves. We all have them. We all share them. I'm hoping that when I share my pet peeves, you will either find some kind of community with me. Misery loves company. And maybe you'd always thought this yourself and you just never said it. Or maybe you never thought it and now it's going to bother you forever. Sorry about that. It could be, though, that if you hear me say it, you realize how silly it is and it's something you never did. So either way, I think it can be of some benefit or amusement. Okay. People who feed pigeons and cats. Now, I like animals. I'm not against animals. And I'm not in favor of cruelty to animals. If you're considering performing cruelty to animals, Fletcher Rhoden says don't. But pigeons are parasites. They're rats with wings. In fact, pigeons are kind of a pet peeve of mine. They're gross. They're littered with fleas and disease. They're stupid. They're entirely parasitic. They don't do anything. All they do is eat garbage and leave a good amount of fecal residue. Nobody likes that. And very few people clean it. The pigeon exists now largely as a byproduct of human civilization. Really, the natural world would have little use of a pigeon. The pigeon is an opportunistic species that exists because humans exist. Rats are like that. The Norway brown rat and the black rat, I guess the European black rat, tree rat, I don't know, they're all pretty gross to me. And then there are the ones you see that are the black and the white. Those are from escaped lab rats. Anyway, so the rat also really has no purpose in life in the natural world other than to feed birds of prey and snakes and to disseminate fruit seeds so that they're part of the pollination of fruit trees. So an avocado will drop a piece of rotting fruit. The rat comes along, carries it away, eats the meat, and leaves the seed, and the seed grows a tree. So it's like a bee with pollen, except it's a filthy, disgusting rat. But if it's in the wild doing that, that's fine. But let's face it, most rats we ever see are the ones that live in the sewers, the ones that prowl around the alleys, the ones that live in the subways, the ones that eat pizza in New York. I lived in Boston for a while, and I saw rats that were too large. So these are things that they're out of the natural order. They're parasitic. Okay? They only exist to feed off of the refuse of the human race. That's why the rat proliferates so much in cities, the pigeon too, because there's so much garbage to eat, so much free food, and so many places to procreate. The sewers and the building tops and roadway signs and things of that sort. Now, I don't like either one of these species. Let's talk about cats for a minute. I'm no fan of cats, except for the fact that cats will eat rats and pigeons. So, I don't mind a cat if it's outside of the home. I don't want a cat anywhere inside. But if a cat is roaming around, eating rats or pigeons, or at least chasing them away, all right, I'm fine with it. And the cat gets its occasional rat or pigeon meal, and it gets to survive. I one time saw a cat take a sparrow, and it was incredible. I didn't enjoy it, but it was certainly a good lesson in the natural cycle. I one time saw a crow fly down onto a flock of sparrows, pounce on one. It had targeted its victim, flipped it over with its claw, jab it with its beak right in its gut, and then fly off with it. I saw that happen once when I was a kid, and I was like, wow, that's something they don't show you on Sesame Street. But the thing is, it's fine if, nature has its way of taking care of certain things. Sparrows aren't really the problem. Crows are kind of nasty. They're very smart, predatory animals. But here's the thing. People don't feed crows. And they don't really feed sparrows. Maybe they do, in the park. Oh, isn't that nice? But what they do tend to do is feed pigeons in the park. Why are you doing that? You're only contributing to the problem. Or, like I live in a condominium complex in Las Vegas, Nevada, where there are stray cats just living around. They're not owned by anyone. They're not anyone's pets. They just kind of live here. And there's a woman, I believe she's a tenant, I'm not sure, who feeds them. Takes it upon herself to put out little dishes of food and water for the cats. And then there were other people who were like leaving chunks of bread for the pigeons. But what both these people are doing is leaving food for the rats. And during my tenure here, we had a rat problem. Not in my building, not in my condo, thank God. But not far off. The rats were coming in from the upper decks, from the roof. And you can even see damage where some of them just tore through the wood to get into one of these condos. So putting out a lot of food for cats and pigeons, because you think pigeons are so chubby and fluffy and cats are so mammalian, is stupid. Because you know what eats this food? Rats. And guess what? Once the cat is filled up with your free food, it's not going to hunt the rat and kill the rat. It's just going to sit there on its back with its belly up burping your canned cat food while the rat cleans the plate. So, and likewise, those chunks of bread you throw down, Wonder Bread for the pigeons, that's rat food, my friend. You are inviting the rats in. Now, pigeons, they fly away. Oh. Cats, they prowl away. They're quiet. A cat's not going to burrow its way into your house. But that's what rodents do. That's what they do best. And nobody who owns property wants to have a rodent problem. Okay? And no one who lives in a city needs to have more pigeons and more rats and more stray cats around either. So, as much as I sympathize with your love of kittens, which are cute, not cats, which are gross, but kittens, which are cute, or pigeons, which are, I don't know. I don't see the attraction to pigeons, but I also don't care. You're bringing rats around. So stop feeding the cats and stop feeding if the cats want to eat, they'll eat the rats. Let them do their job. That's what they're there for. The natural order put cats around to chase away the rats and eat them. Not to sit there full with their bellies extended while the rats come up and say, hey, Charlie, and lick the tin clean. Come on. What's the matter with you? You want to feed someone, feed a human being. Take the money you spent on that loaf of Wonder Bread, $5, or on the tins of cat food you buy every week. That could be $30, $40 a week. So now we're at $45 a week that you could spend on food that you could take to your local church or homeless shelter. Or find someone and sponsor them for $45 a week so that they could have $180 to feed their children. Human children, not rat children, not little rat pups. God, what are you thinking? I get it. Well, everyone likes the little kitties. Oh, I feel so badly for the kitties who are out there in the cold. I don't feel well that they're out there. I'm not letting them in here. But I'm not celebrating that they're out there. But I'm also not encouraging it. I'm not continuing the cycle by giving them food and water and making it an exceptional place for them to live. Because that only encourages the problem, and it only encourages the rats. The cats do not chase the rats away. They don't. Because they're too full with the free food you gave them. Because they're not hunters anymore. They're pets. You domesticated a feral run of cats. And only a feral group of cats are going to kill rats. That's what feral cats do. But domesticated cats don't do that. They sit around and purr and want to be rubbed or be left alone, or they scratch you. A cat is the demon's house pet to begin with. But honestly, to be feeding the ones that are out in the alley, then they're out there screeching. They're in heat. It's gross. They're not cute. They're not. And also, the rats are super not cute. So if you want to go out there and just hand feed the cats only and leave no debris behind, maybe. But even so, I'm telling you, who's going to chase the rats away? A bunch of well-fed cats? Would you? If you were a well-fed cat, would you bother with it? I think Seinfeld's on. So anyway, that's one of my... Maybe you disagree. Maybe you say like, no, you got to feed these animals. You've got to be compassionate. And I am compassionate. But not for rats. For rats, I got no compassion. And I'm not going to... I think to be blind to the harm you're doing, thinking you're doing good, does not mean you're doing any good. You're still doing more harm than good. So it's not me being uncompassionate, it's you being foolish, frankly. Now, if you disagree, that's cool. You might think maybe I'm one of your pet peeves by this time. If so, put it in the comment section. I'll happily read it and respond in kind. So, don't come in hot. But I'm happy to hear your perspectives and to share my own. I do that here on Pet Peeves, rather. Every other Monday, noon is when I premiere the new episodes, roughly Mountain Standard Time in the United States. I alternate it with my other show, Quotes and Quips. Hence my little mistake there. Quotes and Quips is in its second year, and it shows on this YouTube channel on Mondays at noon Mountain Central Time every other Monday. So I'm alternating shows throughout 2025. I leave up the reruns, so you can always see them. In 2024, I did a whole year's worth of Quotes and Quips. You can always see those. And in 2023, I did a show called Tracking the Lone Wolf, and it's on its own YouTube channel. So you can see that channel is called Tracking the Lone Wolf at YouTube. And it's based on my book, Track the Lone Wolf, which you can buy in all three formats, paperback, Kindle, and audiobook format, narrated by the author. You can get all that. Don't forget my new album for 2025, I'm Possible. Check all that out. Tune in again, and until then, bye, Mary.